Today's episode of Chicago Bears Now is presented by Manscaped. Manscaped, the best men's grooming products out there, including their brand new beard trimmer, which I'll tell you a little bit later on about. Use code BEARS20 to get 20% off plus free shipping when you go to manscaped.com. It is manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20 to get 20% off when you check out. All right, Jerry Jeudy trade to Chicago. Could that be a possibility? Well, ESPN predicted it. Aaron Schatz of ESPN did predict this trade as he wrote a little something up and predicted that he would get traded to Chicago this offseason. Now, Jerry Jeudy came on strong in the second half of the season. Remember, there was a lot of trade buzz around Jeudy leading up to the NFL trade deadline. Green Bay was interested. Gander to say Chicago was. Obviously, the Bears ended up trading for Chase Claypool. I thought he came on strong late in the year, ended up almost getting to 1,000 yards, had 67 catches for 972 yards and 6 touchdowns, averaged 14.5 yards per catch. It didn't seem like he and Russell Wilson throughout the year had great chemistry, but that final month, that pairing started to play a little bit better. But there is a thought that Jeudy could get traded because he's entering the final year of his deal, and he could be a guy that Denver just ultimately decides that they do not want to pay. Here's what Schatz had to say. Quote, the Bears will trade for a wide receiver, he predicts. One great candidate would be the Broncos' Jerry Jeudy, a 2024 free agent. Denver might not have the cap space to retain him, and he'd be a big boost to Chicago's offense. Now, I don't hate the idea completely, but the Bears need a surefire number one wide receiver. Jeudy isn't that. At least he hasn't proved to be that consistently. At times he's flashed wide receiver one potential, but the year he had this year wasn't even as much volume as Darnell Mooney had last year. Darnell Mooney in 2021 had over 1,000 yards. Now this year he was, around 500. Then he got injured, but Jerry Jeudy to me kind of just gives you a third number two. Mooney, Claypool, and Jeudy are all kind of number two receivers. Now, if you don't have a number one but you have 3 number twos, that's pretty good, right? Because that gives you pretty solid chances, different options for your quarterback. So I'm not saying no to this, but I'm not going to overpay for a receiver that's not a number one. Like, if you trade for Jeudy, then you probably have to decide between Jeudy, Claypool, and Mooney which 2 of 3 you're going to keep long term. I doubt you would keep all 3 in that scenario. Maybe you could. Maybe you get team-friendly deals on all 3 of them, but you would think if you're trading for Jeudy, that's one you're keeping for sure at this point in the process, and then maybe you see how it plays out with the other 2 guys. So we'll see. I'd be hesitant because I don't know if Jeudy can or ever will be a true number one, but he is a good player. Would you trade for Jerry Jeudy? Type T for trade or type P for pass? Again, if the price is right, third-round pick or, later second, like say the Bears trade down from number one, right, and get a few extra picks, maybe you trade that pick from Baltimore, 53 overall, for someone like Jeudy. Like, I could potentially get behind that, but I'd also rather just trade for DeAndre Hopkins. T for trade or P for pass. Let me know what you guys would do. How about trading for a different young wide receiver that's also on the same timeline is Jerry Jeudy, Darnell Mooney, and Chase Claypool? How about Brandon Aiyuk? Saw this idea floated out there on social media. I think Robert Schmitz had it, and there's been a thought kind of similar with Jeudy in Denver that Aiyuk, while he had a breakout season this year and is set to be a free agent after next year, could be a guy that San Francisco has to let go. The 49ers may not be able to pay him and keep him long term. Could they make it work? Yes, but they have a lot of big contracts already. Now they've been able to do that because they don't have any big quarterback contracts. But they've paid Debo. Kittle's not going anywhere. They're going to have to pay Nick Bosa. They've got Trent Williams. Like, you can't pay everybody. And Brandon Aiyuk could be a guy that they say, you know what, we'll keep him through this run, obviously, in the playoffs as they're looking to try and win a Super Bowl. But instead of paying him, $20-25 million per year potentially, we're going to go ahead and trade him. He had a breakout season this year. Thought he played really well. Now, I do wonder because I think his upside, I think he's ascending more than a guy like Jerry Jeudy. But it wasn't that long ago that he was in Kyle Shanahan's doghouse. So is Brandon Aiyuk a guy that can be a true number one? Or is he benefiting heavily from A, playing in that Shanahan system, but B, also playing next to George Kittle and Debo Samuel? Because I do think those things help. I like Aiyuk, again, but he's not a surefire number one. Could he be a number one? Yes. Is he for sure a number one? I don't know. I think he's in a really good situation at this point in time. Now, Manscaped, has launched a beard trimming product. Finally, we've been waiting for this from Manscaped, but they wanted to get it right, and they have gotten it right with the Beard Hedger. Are you tired of using multiple products to maintain your beard? Look no further than the luxury Beard Hedger Pro Kit from Manscaped. The complete beard maintenance kit has everything you need for the modern man on the go. From trimming to treatment, this kit has it all. This kit includes the Beard Hedger, the AC adapter, and USB-C cable, beard shampoo, beard conditioner, beard oil, beard balm, and a travel bag. Plus, as a special bonus, that you will receive a free beard accessory pack with a beard brush, beard comb, and beard scissors. The Beard Hedger was designed with a unique cutting angle to have its built-in comb lift flat lying hairs for smooth single-stroke trimming. And for a limited time, you can get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code BEARS20. Don't wait. Your Beard Hedger Pro Kit don't wait to get it. Go ahead and get it today and take your beard game to the next level. Guys, had the best trim of my life with the Beard Hedger here. I'm a big fan of this product. It's absolutely fantastic, and you guys should go take advantage of it as well. Beard like a pro. The link will be in the description and in the comments of this video. It's promo code BEARS20 when you go to manscaped.com. Get the Beard Hedger Pro Kit today and pack it all in one travel kit that it comes with. It's really, really easy to use. All right, let's get to the next part of today's show. Saquon Barkley, he's been linked to the Bears. He's a big free agent. But does he want Christian McCaffrey money? There is a report out there that Saquon turned down $12 million per year from the Giants on an extension because he's looking at Christian McCaffrey type of money, as CMC got $16 million from Carolina just a few years ago, which up until this year that contract was looking poor because he hadn't been able to stay healthy. But obviously for the 49ers, McCaffrey's been really good. Now, I really like Saquon Barkley. I do. I thought he bounced back nicely. His last 2 years, he's dealt with some injuries, 1,300 yards, pretty good pass catcher as well. But I'll just say this. I'm not paying a running back $16 million per year, especially one that's not going to give me 75 to 80 catches. Saquon can catch the football, and he can be a weapon out of the backfield, but he's not Christian McCaffrey lining up in the slot and running wheel routes and doing all this stuff. McCaffrey is capable of rushing and receiving over 1,000 yards. He's done it before. Saquon Barkley is not going to give you that, and he has a rich history injury. And even then, even if he was a guy who's doing that $16 million a year for a running back, I mean, how is Saquon going to age? I mean, I've thrown ideas out there. Well, just compromise. Give him 14. Give him 5 years, $70 million. You want to commit to that? A 5-year deal for a running back who's already played 5 years in the NFL and has had pretty notable injuries already. That's, I don't know. Like, I'd probably max out at 12, which is what he's already apparently declined from New York. So we'll see what happens with Saquon, and we'll talk more about this in a second. I'll give you more reason to why I would not give Saquon this much money. We can agree to disagree, but here's the deal. That's the beauty of Bears Now. That's why you guys should subscribe to the channel. When the Bears make a move, we'll have it covered, and I'll continue to give you my analysis, my opinions, and, we'll debate back and forth between myself and the audience about everything going on with the Chicago Bears. We pride ourselves on audience interaction, so if you want more of that, if you want more news, rumors, and updates, go ahead and subscribe today to youtube.com/BearsNow. Another reason why I would not pay Saquon that type of money, beyond the, positional value, it doesn't really make sense in his injury history. Well, there's also other really good options. Josh Jacobs is out there, and him and Barkley are franchise tag candidates, so if they're tagged, there's really not much you can do. Miles Sanders, I think, is a pretty good option. I know Tony Pollard just suffered a pretty bad leg injury, but if he passes his medicals, then he's pretty explosive. He's a guy that I would get, and it's not fair to him, but with his injury, his price tag's probably going to go down. David Montgomery, who we'll talk about in a second, obviously, is an internal option to bring back. Jamaal Williams had 1,000 yards and a ton of touchdowns for the Lions this year. Kareem Hunt's out there. Devin Singletary, Jeff Wilson, Rashad Penny. Now, those are some lesser options at this point. But my point being is David Montgomery, who, no, he's not Saquon. He's not as explosive. He's not someone who can take a toss play 60 yards to the crib. That's not really his game. Now, can he occasionally get loose for a big run? Yeah, he can, but he's a reliable back. He gets you the nitty-gritty yards. He catches the football well. He's good in blitz pickup, and you know what you have in him. You don't need to overpay. It's a good running back class in free agency. There's different options. There's guys in the draft you can get. I like Saquon. He's better than Montgomery, but is he, hey, let's pay him $15 million per year versus $7 per year for Monty better? I would not do that. I think that would be a mistake. And Harrison, we have so much cap space. That's true. The Bears could pay Saquon, but the Bears also have a ton of needs. Like, yeah, they have over $100 million. Over half of that could be eaten up by 3 players. Like, you signed Deron Payne and Yannick Ngakoue, for example. They're going to take up close to $40 million on your in-cap space. So, like, it's not like you just are going to have unlimited amount of cash. And do you want to give over 10% of cap space you have to a running back? I just don't think it makes sense. So I don't think you need to overpay if you are Chicago. Khalil Herbert's under contract. Find a good back to pair with them. That is how I would approach it, and then go fill some bigger needs. What is the most you would pay Saquon per year? You make the call. For me, I think it's $12 million. You know, I think I'd give him, 3 years, $36 million, 25 guaranteed. Maybe 3 years, 40, go a tick over 13 per year. Maybe you could talk me into that, but that's about it, guys. And we're certainly not giving him a 5-year deal. Like, no, we've seen it too many times with running backs. Like, it's just not worth it. So you let me know what you guys would do, but that's kind of where I'm at with Saquon Barkley. All right, we have a little bit more of an Aaron Rodgers update. Is he heading to the AFC? ESPN's Adam Schefter says that the Packers won't trade Rodgers to an NFC team. If they do trade him, it'll be to the AFC. And the way I see it, unless something changes, there's really only 3 teams in the AFC that make sense to me. The Jets are the obvious one, and it would be ironic because Brett Favre got traded there way back when. But the Jets this year would have been a playoff team had they had average quarterback play. They did not. Zach Wilson sucked. Mike White was okay, but he's just more of a good backup. Had they had Aaron Rodgers, they probably would have won 11 or 12 games. The Raiders, pairing back up with Devontae Adams. They're moving on from Derek Carr. That could be an option. And then Tennessee, probably time to upgrade from Ryan Tannehill, who's had some injuries the past couple of years. If they're trying to stay in this win-now window with Derrick Henry, a guy like Rodgers could help. He's building a house in the Nashville area as well. Now, I think the Rodgers to the Jets would be great because that franchise sucks. Now, I do think they'd be a pretty good team with him, but the Bears wouldn't really have to worry about that. Like, any AFC team is fine with me, to be honest. Now, Aaron Rodgers hopped on McAfee today and, ran his mouth like he always does, and all the media loves to control the narrative, blah, 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 blah. He loves the center of attention. We know that. He kept saying, yeah, I don't care what people have to say. Well, if you keep saying that you don't care what people have to say, you probably care what people have to say. And we know Aaron Rodgers definitely does. So we'll see what happens. He mentioned that he would like to finish his career with the Packers, but acknowledged maybe he already has, meaning that maybe he will retire, or maybe that his Packers career is over and that they're going to turn to Jordan Love. So I think everything's on the table. I told you guys yesterday, staying with the Packers, getting traded, or retiring, all feasible options, something we will certainly monitor because it directly impacts the Chicago Bears. All right, that's going to do it for today's Bears news and rumors. We'll continue to monitor the top headlines this offseason. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of it. Turn on your notification bell. That way you are notified every single time that we publish a video or that we go live. I'm Harrison Graham. Appreciate you guys for watching this segment.